Welcome to an online workshop presented by Employment Services in Athabasca, Westlock, Barrhead and Whitecourt. The focus of today's workshop is managing conflict in the workplace. Conflict is a natural part of our work and personal lives, and being able to successfully manage and navigate conflict is an essential skill for leadership and workplace success. When you have individuals coming from all different backgrounds and beliefs merging together in the workplace, conflict is inevitable. Keep in mind, workplace conflict isn't always about work. There are political, religious, cultural, and other personal views that can also create conflict. This information pertains to all. Conflict can hurt our morale and negatively affect how we feel about work. Here are 5 key points of workplace conflict. Define acceptable behavior. Hit conflict head-on. Understanding others' motivation. Pick your battles. View conflict as an opportunity. Just having a definition for what constitutes acceptable behavior is a positive step in avoiding conflict. What are your lines? Having clearly defined job descriptions so that people know what's expected of them, and a well-articulated chain of command to allow for effective communication will also help avoid conflicts. Work cooperatively with others in order to achieve objectives. Manage performance in an appropriate and fair manner. Give and receive constructive feedback as a part of normal day-to-day work. When feedback is given regularly and in a respectful manner, it may not come as a shock and can be seen as a step towards growth. While you can't always prevent conflicts, conflict resolution is in fact conflict prevention where possible. It is always possible for a conflict to escalate if it's not dealt with. Proactively intervening in potential conflict in a just and divisive fashion will likely prevent certain conflicts from ever arising. If a conflict does flare up, you will likely minimize its severity by dealing with it quickly. It's always better not to let things build up. Time spent identifying and understanding natural tensions will help to avoid unnecessary conflict. It is important to display empathy towards others and understand their perspective may be different from yours. It is absolutely essential to understand others' motivations prior to weighing in. You may have assumptions that are not appropriate or differences in opinion. Ask questions to help you understand the other person's perspective. And vice versa. Others may have similar thoughts regarding you that can be easily squashed with some understanding. Helping those around you achieve their goals and objectives is a great way to avoid conflict in the workplace. If you approach conflict from the perspective of taking action that will help others best achieve their goals, you will find few obstacles stand in your way. Your colleagues will likely be grateful for the help. Pick your battles. Avoid conflict for the sake of conflict. Recognize a bad day or moment in yourself and others and leave it at that, especially if it's out of the norm and just a one-off. Do your best to show empathy and avoid holding an unnecessary grudge that can damage your relationship with the person. If the issue is important enough to create conflict, it is surely important enough to resolve. Hidden within virtually every conflict is the potential for a tremendous teaching or learning opportunity. Where there is a disagreement, there is an inherent potential for growth and development. Leverage conflict for building and development. Request some team building or training. It's probably needed. Turning the other cheek, compromise, forgiveness, compassion, empathy, finding common ground, being an active listener, service above self, and numerous other approaches will always allow one to be successful in building rapport and strengthening relationships. Here are some steps to help you deal directly with workplace conflict. Talk with the person. Prioritize areas of conflict. Develop a plan. Bring it to the attention of higher up. Build on the success. Talk with the person. Arrange a private meeting by asking the other person to name a time when it would be convenient to meet. Arrange to meet in a place where you won't be interrupted. Use the words "when this happens" instead of "when you do." Describe a specific instance or event instead of generalizing. Listen to what the other person has to say instead of getting ready to react. Avoid interrupting the other person. After the other person finishes speaking, rephrase what was said to make sure you understand it. Ask questions to clarify your understanding. Develop a plan. Start with the most important conflict. Focus on the future. Set up future meeting times to continue your discussions. Stick with the discussions until you've worked through each area of conflict. Maintain a collaborative, let's work it out solution attitude. Prioritize areas of conflict. Discuss which areas of conflict are most important for you to resolve. Summarize the areas of agreement and disagreement. Ask the other person if he or she agrees with your assessment. Modify your assessment until both of you agree on the areas of conflict. It is important to try and resolve conflict amongst yourselves. However, it's not always possible. If the conflict is not resolving, your boss will likely want to be involved. Some fail to address conflict at work because they don't want to come off as tattlers, complainers, or brown nosers. This is not helpful and can grow negative emotions. You need to discuss the situation with your boss, but in a way where they won't feel like you're being vindictive. Let your supervisor know what's bothering you and why it's bothering you. Then you can ask them if you can both work together to resolve the conflict. Build on the success. Look for opportunities to point out progress. Compliment the other person's insights and achievements. Congratulate each other when you make progress, even if it's just a small step. Your hard work will pay off when scheduled discussions eventually give way to ongoing friendly communication. I hope you found some useful information in today's online workshop. Here is our contact information in Athabasca, Barrhead, Westlock, and Whitecourt. You can call, text, or email if you have questions about any of the information in this presentation, or if you have further questions about the services we provide. Here is our online contact information through our website and our Facebook pages. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.